In today's world, humanity faces challenges that extend beyond political or economic systems. From materialism and division to environmental collapse and the manipulation of power, we are often trapped in cycles of distraction, fear, and dependency. As Albert Einstein once said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. This is the time for a shift in perspective, away from short-term solutions and shallow distractions, toward meaningful change and self-empowerment. This video explores the key forces shaping modern society, our addiction to technology, the blurring of morality, and how misinformation leads us astray. Drawing from these global issues, you'll learn practical exercises to regain control of your life, whether it's practicing mindfulness, fostering community, or building personal resilience. As George Orwell noted, in a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. Through conscious choices and deliberate action, we can break free from the systems that bind us and work toward a more empowered, sustainable future. Materialism over fulfillment. In today's world, many people believe that happiness is directly tied to wealth, possessions, and social status. This mindset is constantly reinforced by media, advertising, and societal pressures, pushing individuals to chase material goods as a means to feel validated or successful. As a result, people often fall into cycles of overconsumption, constantly seeking the next big purchase, whether it's a new phone, car, or luxury item, only to feel temporarily satisfied before the cycle starts again. This focus on materialism distracts from deeper sources of fulfillment, such as meaningful relationships, personal growth, or contributing to the greater good. Additionally, it often leads to stress, as people go into debt or overextend themselves financially to keep up with perceived societal expectations. Ultimately, this constant pursuit of more leaves many feeling unfulfilled and disconnected. Practice minimalism. To escape the trap of materialism, try incorporating minimalism into your life. Minimalism is about focusing on what truly adds value and joy to your existence, and removing unnecessary distractions. It doesn't mean depriving yourself of things you need, but being intentional about what you allow into your life. Write down 3 things you can live without, whether it's a material object, a social media platform, or a daily habit that doesn't serve you. Take action to remove or reduce these from your life, and observe how it feels to let go. Over time, this can help shift your focus from consumption to personal satisfaction, fostering a deeper sense of contentment and clarity. Divisions in society. In this world, society is becoming increasingly divided along lines of race, politics, religion, and identity. These divisions are often amplified by social media and news outlets, which sensationalize conflict to capture attention. As a result, people are encouraged to view those who hold different beliefs or come from different backgrounds as enemies, rather than fellow humans with their own experiences and perspectives. This polarization creates an us versus them mentality, fostering hatred, fear, and misunderstanding. Instead of working together to solve shared problems, societies become fragmented, with groups focusing on their differences rather than their common goals. This division weakens the bonds that hold communities together, making it easier for those in power to manipulate public opinion and maintain control. As people become more isolated in their own ideological bubbles, the potential for cooperation, empathy, and progress diminishes. These divisions keep humanity from uniting to address critical issues like climate change, economic inequality, and social justice. Foster compassion and connection. To counteract the growing divisions, it's important to engage in open and empathetic conversations with people from different backgrounds or with opposing viewpoints. Understanding others' perspectives can help bridge gaps and reduce hostility. Choose someone in your life who holds a different opinion or comes from a different background than you. Have a respectful, open conversation with them, focusing on listening and understanding rather than arguing. Seek to find common ground or at least appreciate their point of view. This practice can help reduce prejudice and build stronger, more compassionate relationships. Misinformation and propaganda. Misinformation and propaganda are rampant, making it difficult for people to discern truth from falsehood. With the rise of social media and the 24-hour news cycle, information spreads rapidly, often without proper verification. Many media outlets and online platforms manipulate information for profit or political gain, pushing narratives that serve specific agendas rather than presenting facts. Misinformation leads to confusion and distrust, as people struggle to figure out what's real. This causes deep divisions within society, with groups becoming entrenched in conflicting versions of reality. Individuals are often trapped in echo chambers, exposed only to information that reinforces their pre-existing beliefs. As a result, critical thinking and open discourse diminish, making it easier for those in power to control the narrative and manipulate the public. The constant barrage of misleading information not only polarizes society but also fosters anxiety and a sense of helplessness. Many feel overwhelmed, unable to navigate the flood of content and make informed decisions. Develop critical thinking. To combat misinformation, it's essential to sharpen your critical thinking skills. This involves questioning the information you consume and seeking out diverse perspectives to get a well-rounded view of issues. Pick a controversial topic that's currently being debated in the media. Read at least 3 articles from different sources, including ones that may not align with your beliefs. Analyze how each source frames the issue, identify biases, and look for factual inconsistencies. This exercise will help you become more aware of how information is presented and encourage you to think independently rather than accepting narratives at face value. If you're enjoying this audiobook and finding value in the content, we kindly ask you to take a moment to subscribe to the channel. A large portion of our listeners and viewers haven't subscribed yet, and by doing so, you'll help us grow and continue bringing you more high-quality audiobooks. Your support means a lot to us, and it's just one click away. So, Go ahead and hit that subscribe button to stay connected and never miss out on our latest releases. Technology addiction. As we speak, technology has become an integral part of daily life, but its overuse is leading to widespread addiction. Social media platforms, apps, and online entertainment are designed to keep people engaged, using algorithms to draw attention and encourage constant interaction. This addiction to technology has profound effects on mental health, reducing people's ability to focus, think critically, and engage meaningfully with others. As people spend more time on their devices, real-life interactions decrease, and relationships suffer. The digital world becomes more appealing than the real one, leading to social isolation, anxiety, and even depression. This constant connectivity also creates a sense of urgency, with people feeling the need to stay updated on every notification or news event, adding stress to daily life. Moreover, technology addiction contributes to a shortened attention span, making it harder to concentrate on tasks that require sustained focus. This undermines productivity and creativity, keeping individuals in a cycle of distraction that is hard to break. Limit screen time. Breaking free from technology addiction requires intentional steps to reclaim your time and focus. By setting boundaries, you can reduce the amount of time spent on screens and re-engage with the physical world. Set a daily screen time limit for yourself, especially on social media and entertainment apps. Start by reducing your time by 30 minutes each day. Use this freed time to engage in activities that don't involve technology, such as reading, exercising, or spending time with loved ones. Track your progress and reflect on how it impacts your mood, relationships, and mental clarity. Over time, this will help you regain control over your digital habits. Fear and insecurity. Fear and insecurity dominate many aspects of life. Whether it's fear of economic instability, global crises, or personal failure, these emotions are heightened by constant exposure to negative news, social media pressures, and the unpredictable nature of modern society. As a result, many people experience anxiety and stress, often feeling powerless to change their circumstances. This pervasive fear keeps individuals in a state of survival mode, where they focus on short-term security rather than long-term growth. It also makes people more vulnerable to manipulation, as those in power can exploit these insecurities by offering false promises of safety or control. Fear paralyzes action, leading to stagnation and disconnection from deeper personal goals and meaningful relationships. The focus on external threats, whether real or perceived, distracts from internal peace and development. It prevents individuals from taking risks, pursuing their passions, or building resilience in the face of adversity. In this state, people become more isolated and less likely to connect with others, further exacerbating their sense of vulnerability. Cultivate mindfulness. To combat fear and insecurity, mindfulness is a powerful tool. It helps ground you in the present moment, reducing anxiety about the future and helping you manage negative emotions more effectively. Set aside 10 minutes each morning to practice mindfulness or meditation. Find a quiet space, sit comfortably, and focus on your breathing. As thoughts of fear or insecurity arise, observe them without judgment, and gently bring your attention back to your breath. This daily practice can help reduce anxiety and increase your ability to remain calm and focused, even in stressful situations. Dependence on external systems. People are increasingly dependent on external systems, governments, corporations, and technology for their survival and well-being. From relying on large companies for food, energy, and healthcare to trusting tech platforms for information and communication, many aspects of life are controlled by a few powerful entities. This dependence limits individual autonomy, as people become trapped in systems they cannot control. Governments and corporations use this reliance to influence behavior, shaping consumer choices and social norms through advertising, policy, and technology. This centralization of power makes people vulnerable to disruptions in these systems, whether it's a financial crisis, political instability, or supply chain breakdowns. As a result, individuals often feel helpless, believing they lack the skills or resources to meet their basic needs without these systems. While these structures provide convenience, they also create a sense of dependency, reducing self-sufficiency and personal agency. The more people rely on external systems, the harder it becomes to imagine alternatives, trapping them in cycles of consumption and conformity. Seek self-reliance. To reduce dependency, it's important to build personal resilience by learning basic life skills that increase self-sufficiency. This empowers individuals to take control of their needs and reduces their reliance on external systems. Identify one area of your life where you can become more self-reliant. For example, start a small garden to grow some of your own food, learn basic home repairs, or take control of your finances by setting up a savings plan. Dedicate time each week to developing this skill. As you grow more self-sufficient, you'll feel more empowered and less dependent on external systems. Blurring of morality. In today's world, the lines between right and wrong are increasingly blurred. Many people face conflicting messages about ethics, as societal pressures, media, and popular culture often promote self-interest and instant gratification over integrity and compassion. Success is frequently measured by wealth, fame, or influence, regardless of the means used to achieve it. As a result, moral compromises are normalized in the pursuit of personal or professional gains. Corporations and political leaders sometimes act unethically but face few consequences, sending a message that dishonesty and exploitation are acceptable if they lead to success. This creates a moral confusion where ethical behavior is seen as outdated or impractical, encouraging people to act in their own self-interest without considering the broader impact on society. This erosion of moral standards weakens communities and fosters distrust. As individuals prioritize their own desires over collective well-being, the social fabric frays, making it harder for people to collaborate or build meaningful, trust-based relationships. Adopt strong ethical standards. To navigate a world where morality is often compromised, it's essential to reaffirm your personal values and commit to living by them. This creates a sense of integrity and purpose, even in challenging situations. Write a personal ethical code that outlines the core values you want to live by, e.g., honesty, empathy, responsibility. Revisit this code weekly, reflecting on how your actions align with your principles. When faced with difficult decisions, use your ethical code as a guide to ensure you act in ways that align with your deeper beliefs, rather than short-term self-interest. This practice builds moral clarity and strengthens your relationships with others. Environmental collapse. Today, the world faces a growing environmental crisis driven by overconsumption, pollution, and climate change. Natural resources are being depleted at unsustainable rates, and ecosystems are collapsing under the strain of human activity. Global warming, deforestation, and the destruction of biodiversity threaten the stability of the planet, leading to extreme weather events, food shortages, and rising sea levels. Despite widespread awareness of these issues, many industries and governments prioritized short-term economic gain over long-term environmental health. The focus on rapid consumption and production contributes to the degradation of the planet, while individuals are often left feeling powerless to make significant changes. This creates a vicious cycle in which the environment continues to suffer while people become more disconnected from nature and less conscious of their impact on the earth. This environmental collapse not only affects the planet but also heightens social inequality, as vulnerable populations bear the brunt of climate disasters, pollution, and resource scarcity. Live sustainably. To help combat environmental collapse, it's crucial to adopt sustainable living practices. By making conscious choices, individuals can reduce their ecological footprint and contribute to the planet's well-being. Choose one area of your life where you can reduce your environmental impact. For example, you could reduce plastic use by switching to reusable products, conserve energy by adopting efficient appliances, or cut down on meat consumption. Commit to making at least one sustainable change and track your progress over the next month. Reflect on how these actions contribute to a healthier planet and how you can inspire others to do the same. Small changes, when multiplied, can lead to significant environmental benefits. Short-term thinking. At today's fast-paced world, short-term thinking dominates many aspects of society. Businesses prioritize quarterly profits over long-term sustainability. Governments focus on immediate political gains rather than long-term solutions, and individuals often seek instant gratification rather than investing in their future. This mindset leads to actions that address immediate needs but neglect broader, lasting impacts. For example, industries may exploit natural resources to meet short-term demand, disregarding the environmental damage they cause. Similarly, people may focus on quick fixes for personal success, such as crash diets or get-rich-quick schemes, rather than committing to slow, steady progress. This focus on short-term rewards creates a cycle where deeper, structural problems, like climate change or economic inequality, are ignored or delayed. This approach limits growth, as meaningful change requires long-term vision, patience, and effort. By prioritizing what's easy or immediate, individuals and societies miss opportunities for lasting solutions, leading to unsustainable practices that can ultimately result in long-term damage. Plan for the long term. To counter short-term thinking, start setting long-term goals and work toward them steadily. This requires discipline and foresight, but it leads to more sustainable success. Create a 5-year plan focused on one key area of your life, whether it's personal development, career, or health. Outline specific goals and the steps needed to achieve them. Break these down into smaller, actionable tasks and dedicate time each week to work on them. Regularly review your progress and adjust your plan as needed. This exercise will help shift your mindset from short-term gratification to long-term fulfillment, building habits that lead to more enduring success and well-being. False hope and distractions. In today's world, people are bombarded with superficial solutions and distractions that offer temporary relief but fail to address the root of their problems. From self-help fads to consumer trends, society often promotes quick fixes that create a false sense of hope. These distractions, whether through endless entertainment, consumerism, or shallow trends, keep individuals from confronting deeper issues like mental health, inequality, or personal dissatisfaction. This culture of distractions serves to pacify people, preventing them from seeking meaningful change or addressing long-term goals. Constant engagement with these fleeting solutions leaves individuals feeling unfulfilled, as they realize that these quick fixes fail to provide lasting satisfaction or improvement. Moreover, these distractions are often marketed by corporations and influencers, capitalizing on the desire for instant solutions without encouraging real personal growth or societal change. The pursuit of false hope and distractions prevents people from looking inward, making it difficult to break free from cycles of dissatisfaction and stagnation. As a result, people remain disengaged from issues that require attention and effort. Resist distractions. To avoid the trap of false hope, it's essential to focus on long-term, meaningful pursuits rather than short-term distractions. This requires intentionality and discipline. Make a list of the top 3 distractions in your life, whether it's excessive social media use, impulsive shopping, or watching too much television. For the next 30 days, commit to eliminating or reducing these distractions. Replace the time spent on them with activities that bring genuine fulfillment, such as learning a new skill, deepening relationships, or working on personal goals. Reflect on how this change impacts your sense of purpose and satisfaction. Exploitation of power by a few. In today's world, a small elite wields disproportionate power, controlling vast economic, political, and social systems. Corporations, billionaires, and influential political figures shape global policies and markets to serve their interests, often at the expense of the majority. This concentration of power creates inequality, as the wealthy and powerful manipulate systems to accumulate more resources while widening the gap between the rich and the poor. The media, government, and major corporations work hand in hand to maintain control over public opinion, often distracting people from the exploitation and corruption at the top. This dynamic leads to a society where the powerful continue to benefit while the needs of ordinary people go unmet. In many cases, these power structures are designed to appear beneficial, offering false promises of opportunity or stability while reinforcing the control of the elite. The growing concentration of power makes it difficult for individuals and communities to effect meaningful change, as they often lack the resources or influence to challenge the status quo. This dynamic creates a sense of powerlessness, leading many to accept the status quo rather than fight against it. Empower your community. To counter this concentration of power, collective action and community empowerment are essential. By coming together, people can create meaningful change and challenge inequality. Join or create a local group focused on mutual support or activism. Whether it's a community garden, a food bank, or a social justice initiative, working with others helps build stronger, more resilient communities. Dedicate time each week to engage in collective action that addresses a local issue, and encourage others to get involved. Collective efforts are more powerful than individual ones in challenging entrenched systems of power. Copyright 2024 by AudioBooksTube. Thank you for listening. Please consider to subscribe, like, and share to help the channel growth. New videos on a daily basis.